We are live.
Hello everyone, I am Rana Atheya from dogspot.in and I welcome you all from on behalf of Dogspot as well as on behalf of Weasel and Meera here. We are just waiting for Shekhar to join in as he is trying to find a better place which is less noisy. He logged in from his resort and we're just waiting for him to get a little stabilized and join in, I think, few seconds. As soon as he's here, I will add him on the stream. Okay, please say something so that we know that we are all live. I've got a message from Sam Gokhale, Unleash. Hi, Meera. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Rana? Good evening.
Very good, Meera. How are you, Weasel?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. So this is going to be very interesting. This is first time on Dogspot that we are going to have four people talking on the live, and we are going to be talking all about dog boarding. We're going to be discussing good, bad, and all different sides of dog boarding, wherein we are going to also discuss that what is the story from the dog boarder's point of view and how people should see it, how pet owners should see it from outside, that what pet boarders actually goes through, and what to expect from a boarding, what not to expect from a boarding, etc. Right? So, that's what this session is all about. We're just waiting for a few more people to join in, and while we do that, we will have a little chit chat. We can hear some dogs barking. Is that you, Shekhar? Shekhar, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Rana.
Hi, Shekhar. I think you're at your resort, right?
Yeah, so there is some disturbance.
That's all right. We all know, this happens. And Weasel and I are at the same place, and Meera has joined us from Pune. And this is going to be amazing because we are going to have many different views of borders of different types, and we are going to be talking about dog boarding during the COVID times, and I think dog boarding happens to be one of the most hit servicing segment in pet industry, and we are also going to talk about the challenges faced by dog boarders, and we are also going to talk about how dog boarding as a business is challenging, etc. Right? So I welcome everybody here, all the viewers, Shekhar, Meera, and Weasel. I think this is the very first formal chat between me and Weasel on live publicly. So I was really looking forward for this, and that's what I was very excited about it. So, anyways, coming to the subject, not giving more chances for Meera to laugh, and so a very quick introduction, Shekhar, to start with you, right? Please tell us that what type of a setup do you run? And I know that you are in Bangalore. I know about your setup, but a lot of our viewers might not know. Please appraise everybody.
Thanks, Rana. Good evening, everyone who's on live in this Dogspot show. I'm looking forward to this evening talk. First time I'm having a live chat with Rana. We had many mobile chats, but I think for the first time we are going to talk in front of everyone. So, Petcart, I run a resort called Petcart Nest in Bangalore. Petcart Nest is situated in outskirts of Bangalore in 2 acres of land. So we have all the services that a furry friend can look at. We got day boarding, we got overnight boarding, we got a large swimming pool, we got 3 large play areas. So we can accommodate 70 pets at any point of time. So each pet can stay in 60 square feet hut. It has got a private, drainage facility. So all in all, this is perfect experience center for furry friends. We got many other experience to talk about. Maybe during the show, I will talk about. So we are operational about last 18 months now. This December we'll turn 2 years. In last 2 years, we would have done about 14,000 plus pet days. We would have hosted about 1,000 plus pets. So today morning, I was talking to somebody. Today we touched 70 different breeds because today we hosted a birthday of Shiro, who's a French Mastiff boy. So Shiro happened to be the 70th breed that we have hosted in Petcart Nest. So I think all in all, yeah, about 2 years journey now in December. Exciting and look forward.
Very nice, Shekhar. Actually, I and Shekhar started talking because Shekhar also used to run an e-commerce setup for Petcart, and then while it is there, he also added Petcart Resort Nest. And I have been to his place when it was actually in the making. It is beautiful. When we see photo, it appears less beautiful actually. While you will think it is so beautiful looking at the photos, but when you actually visit, it is even more nice. So over to Meera. Meera, please give a quick introduction. While a lot of people know you because you have been here a couple of times, and then we will talk to Visa.
Yeah. So Habitals Pune, I started in 2011, and the facility is spread over 1.5 acre of property. At a time, individually, I can accommodate 20 dogs at any given time, but the kennels are big enough to accommodate 2 dogs or 3 large breeds also together if they belong to same family. We have large play areas, about 25,000 square feet. We also have pet-friendly swimming pool and the basic grooming that we do. And every year, nearly 300 to 5, anything between 300 to 500 dogs we board throughout the year. And we are one of, I can proudly say that we are one of the first pet boarding center who have turned successfully the dog poop into a fertilizer. So organically,
Wow.
we process that
Very
because 20 dogs pooping morning, evening. So it's a big pile of dog poop that we collect every day, and we successfully we have processed that into organic fertilizer. So all the trees and all the plants at the facility are growing on that fertilizer only.
Wow, that is very nice. Were you also the very first resort of the country, very first few pet resort kind of a setup? I remember
No.
you started very early. Okay.
No. So in Pune, we had first kennel in 2007 or 2008, I guess. In 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And I
definitely
think
one of the first few, I would say.
yeah, I think it
Which
was
is
under
running
construction.
successfully.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
met you and Shekhar almost at the same time of your, boarding facilities while it was in the making.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I went
In
to
fact,
Shekhar, it was not open for people,
Yes.
and I met you at your facility, Meera, when it was not open. So quite a coincidence.
no, it was open. It was open, but the work was definitely every year because ultimately, for all the development thing, it requires
Yes,
money.
yes,
So as soon as
yes.
I get enough funds, I put it into something and we develop something.
Right,
So
right.
what you have seen last year, it may not be the same. It might be something different. So what Weasel also saw last year when she had come, now the facility looks totally different.
Wow.
Very nice. Vizal,
Yeah.
over to you. Please tell us about PetSpot pet hoarding, and then we will start the questions, answers, kind of a thing.
Yeah, so we started PetSpot pet boarding in 2008 as a home boarding. It's a very, very personalized boarding we are running with a, limitation, like with the limit of 18 dogs at a time. And we register the dog first. We see whether the pet is, comfortable with us or not, whether, mean to say, the pet is comfortable with the other pets around, new people around. So after we do this, then we do the registration and welcome the pets at our boarding. And we are also into pet relocation, so we usually like to host the pets who are relocating further and they need a transit period, a hold period, like to complete their documentation. So we host those dogs with us in our boarding mostly these days.
Great.
Great.
So Weasel actually started boarding facility from an apartment, very small, and then it grew to board about 30, 40 dogs at a time. And then she also started doing pet grooming because people used to like her grooming while the dogs used to stay for boarding. They used to go back in very nice groomed condition. And then they started asking her to groom, and that is how grooming started. And then a couple of friends asked if you can help in relocation, and then she started specializing in pet relocation. So now she runs pet boarding, grooming, and pet relocation services all together under the name of PetSpot. For people who have just joined now, I would like to tell them that we are going to talk all about dog boarding today. We have got Meera from Pune, Happy Tales, Shekhar from Bangalore. He runs a setup called Pet Cart Resort Nest, and Weasel from PetSpot. Weasel is from Gurgaon, and she's also my wife. I started DogSpot and she started PetSpot. So first thing, I would like to, ask you guys to start with Shekhar. That what
Yeah.
has been the impact of COVID on dog boarding?
Yeah, I
So,
know. Yeah.
so not
See,
only, give me a second. No. So not only pet boarding and pet cart, but whole industry. How has the COVID situation impacted the whole industry?
well, firstly, let me tell about Petcart Nest. Yeah, we were going very well till the month of March mid. So our occupancy rate used to be in the range of 70 to 80%, even in January, February, March, and all. Of course, in December we were running 110%. But after this COVID started in March 18th, the new yeah.
I think there is some disturbance to his connection.
Rana, we can't hear you.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can't hear
sorry.
you.
So we will come back to Shekhar as soon as it is more quiet. I think it is now better. Shekhar, yeah, go
Yeah,
on.
so sorry. I was saying that till March 18th, everything was fine. So once the COVID breakdown happened, from that day, of course, the inflow to the resort has decreased considerably. And during those 5 weeks of initial lockdown, we have shut our resort due to government compliance. We completely shut the resort. We have not come to zero because we have some long-term pets with us. And during that point of time, some pets owners who were in apartments in Bangalore, they asked us that, can you take care of our pets during this lockdown? Because obviously we'll be inside home, we'll not be able to take them outside. So whatever the pets was there during March 18th, that continued for the next 5 weeks. But in 5 weeks, the entire the boarding was shut. It was shut for entry. So I would say the on an average scale of numbers would have dropped from if it was 100, it would have dropped to about 20% kind of a thing during those five weeks. So yes, for hospitality perspective, it was very stressful time because what happens is the cost of operations of running this hospitality business is very high because of various other factors which is involved. Rentals, manpower, uh, keeping the even though the pets are not there or not there, keeping the swimming pool and other hygiene factor. So the cost remains same, but the overall revenues dropped significantly. So that's merely because we used to get a lot of walk-ins during weekends for birthday packages, weekend packages, naming ceremonies, various other things. So those revenues also has dropped considerably. So all in all, yeah, we are slowly trying to open up our eyes now, but I think that I'll speak later. But overall, pet industry, in my view, what we've seen is the e-commerce business and the essentials business. Whatever I have seen and I have heard from the industry people within Bangalore, in the month of April, it zoomed like crazily because of the panic buying. In the month of May, it is sort of settled down. Now, I think people are back to normal. So I think essentials business is one business which continue to do good business. Now, coming to the second part, which is we also run a small beta test on veterinarian management, which uh, in one of the two of the veterinarians in Bangalore. Uh, we saw a significant rise in walk-ins during month of May and June. In April, it was steady, but in the month of May and June, I have seen a significant rise in walk-ins to veterinary space. Now that could be because what I have heard from people is the pet adoption has gone up significantly higher. So a lot of puppy vaccinations has gone up higher in both the veterinarian thing. So I think the veterinarians would be the most happiest people for more walk-ins, and essentials business is on the rise. But in my way, hospitality is take a big hit in the last two months at
3 months.
least. April, May specifically. Now we are starting to open up a baby eyes.
Right. So, Meera, while Shekhar has told in detail, I would like to know, two things very clearly. That how do you see the impact of COVID on dog boarding? And did you had dogs during the boarding time? Were you having some guests coming in, or it was all clean? How was it?
Yeah, so the facilities working throughout the lockdown, because we definitely the boarding facilities and the veterinary services are we fall into the service industry, essential services. So people, in case, so I had clients, I had doggy clients checking in as a precautionary check-in, precautionary stay out of fear, just in case if the family gets infected, if the society gets under lockdown. A lot of Mumbai cases where the aggressive dogs which are not able to now the families are not able to give them enough exercise. So in such cases, as a precautionary, because what if the dog starts biting? So that was one of their fear, because initially the dogs were not allowed to walk for longer distances. It used to be just quick short walks. So we are working throughout the lockdown. Definitely on day-to-day basis, whatever short stays used to happen on the weekends or the long weekends, so those have definitely reduced. Those have not come. It's only the long-term boarding that has increased, only for the precautionary thing, and in case if the family has person infected with the COVID. So currently, I'm boarding 3 such dogs where the family is having. The entire family is under home quarantine. So the dogs are staying with me, and I have a couple of Mumbai dogs also who are staying with me for the long period. And then usual the long-term boardings, border dogs which were already there before even the lockdown started. So they are still staying with me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Musarat, hi Musarat. She asked about the same thing which you actually said, that are you guys boarding any COVID family dogs or not? What about you, Shekhar? Did you came across
Yeah.
any such?
So yes. After 5 weeks, we sort of started opening up with all the protocols. In Bangalore also, since the cases started going up, we get a lot of calls on those things. But we, after taking precautionary measures and all the details possible from the pet parents and the pets, we also started hosting the COVID human stuff. Yes, we have about 4 of them now as we speak in our resort, whose pet parents are undergoing those various treatments of COVID.
So, Weasel, what was your experience? Because how it should be a very different experience is that you do not run a resort kind of a thing. It is very much in the middle of the town. in the hustle and bustle of Gurgaon, while Meera and Shekhar both have got their facilities a couple of kilometers outside the center of the city. Did you see any difference, or was it the same sweep off and very less dogs on boarding? How was it?
See, the major difference was definitely there were, a major hit on the short-term boardings, like people when they book us for the holidays when they travel. So there was zero such boardings coming. But as I am into pet relocation, I mentioned, and there were many people who were abroad and were, left their dogs with me for boarding for some time, and they were not able to come back during this COVID situation. So those pets are with me. Still, they are with me. And then being into pet relocation, many people they just took this special flight, Vande Bharat flight, and left country during this period. So we have also hosted their pets, and they are still with me, and we are finding the flights for the pets and sending them. So I have a lot of relocation pets right now with me, but short-term holiday is completely closed, and I don't know when it will start. So yes, but the constant business is there. It's not the same. The revenue is not same. Definitely, there is at least 60 to 70% fall. But yes, we are able to survive. Yes, we are able to pay our staff. We are able to, run the facility. So
at the moment, it's just hand to mouth situation is happening.
Absolutely.
So we can at least staff salary, rent, the electricity bill, and the food charges, because now suddenly all the local vendors have stopped giving us discount, which we usually used to get. So those things.
So now, there are other challenges also, which is coming along with the, less revenues. But yes, still, things are not as bad as I assumed. We are able to pull it.
That's true.
Absolutely.
So, I know that Weasel started focusing more and more on relocation. It was more earlier international, and then she started picking up pet relocation, which is more domestic, and that is how it was supporting dog boarding as a business. And that is what she said, that, while people were trying to relocate from one place to another place, and there were a lot of dogs getting moved due to the situation, and because she is also connected with the relocation as a business, she was able to pull some business in. And definitely, we are all looking at the positive side of it, while we are saying that we are not, the situation is bad. But what did you do, Shekhar? Did you change the business a little bit? Did you introduce some new services? Tell us a little positive side of the story also.
Yeah, I think every stress comes up with some opportunities. Otherwise we would have continued the way that we do. For us, largely the revenues were coming from long stay boarding and these swimming pool and daycare centers. So COVID made us to think differently. Whatever we were thinking. So what we done was, from our existing customers, there used to be a huge request for the grooming and training. So since we run a large resort, we used to do only the basic shampooing stuff, but we didn't have this nail clipping or hair trimming and the complete grooming part of it. So that is one stuff which we have introduced now. That is one thing. Second thing, as I said, we have a large space, so we can do various other things. And a lot of queries started coming for training purpose, because people started adopting puppies in a big numbers. So what we've done is we've as I said, some stress comes with opportunity. So we started collaborating with one more setup in Bangalore, who runs a good pet cafe for training and behavioral stuff. So we have unveiled a brand called Dogsford, which is basically going to focus on training and behavioral part of pets. The last one was very innovative stuff, which is while we were interacting with our existing customers during COVID breakdown, and we were doing some contest and engagement program, we realized that they wanted to express their emotion, love with various things. So we aligned with some of the best photographers in Bangalore. So we launched something called Pet Photo Studio in our boarding center, which gives opportunity for pet parents to come and do a candid photo shoot with the line of photographers that we have done. So today morning also we had a fresh photo shoot with Rohit. He's one of our empaneled photographers, so we've done that with that. So I think largely these three things we have added as a revenue streams for to our whatever revenue we are doing. And yes, in the last couple of days, one after opening up, they are getting a momentum on that.
Yeah, thank you, Shekhar. I mean, that brings a lot of positivity that, there are always pivots. And uh, like, we started from Weasel talking about how she connected pet relocation and boarding. And you have started a training cafe kind of a setup and photography. And I have already been talking to Rohit. So we are looking forward for some more chat with Rohit. And maybe we'll do a session with him which will be about how to do pet photography while you are at home using your mobile or something like that. So looking forward for that. And this is a great initiative. I think, what I feel is that photography in India especially can go to the next level for not only for pets, even for, a lot of other things. For example, in many countries, there are photographers for their new cars. People buy a new car and then they hire a photographer to do a photo shoot. And I think in India we are soon going to have photography as one of the very main thing in these kind of in pets, in cars, bikes probably, and many more. It is currently limited to very niche, very different type of segments like food and probably travel and things like those.
So it all happened.
Yeah.
Sorry. It all happened that our existing customers only gives so much of new ideas. So just before lockdown, one of our customer asked me that can I do a maternity shoot in our premises. And that point of time, I didn't had any thoughts about photography, and that's what I felt. If somebody can spend some money on the maternity shoot, I thought, why can't we create it? And that time, when we met Rohit during lockdown, so since we didn't have much work to do in home, and Rohit being an ex-Amazon and Flipkart, he came up. So first time I saw with my eyes how people give time, emotion, and a lot of those props and all. Today we had a shoot for 5 people in our resort on a contest basis. All 5 of them were chilled up, and I was photographing Rohit. Rohit was capturing the candid moment, but I was capturing him, so that that was one thing. And I just missed one more stuff which came up as an opportunity for us was just before lockdown, about 3-4 months, we started pet celebration, which is starting from naming ceremony to birthday celebration. And now in COVID time, we started pushing it heavily so that at least the concept gets into the customers. And we are happy to see that just after COVID, we are getting a lot of inquiries for pet birthdays. Like yesterday, we did two birthdays. Last week, we did 3 birthdays. So all opportunities which can accumulate into a business which we are doing earlier, and also give a new experience to our pet parents.
Yeah, that's great. Meera, how did you pivoted? I mean, were there any major changes you had to do, and how do you see the market? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We started doing off-leash sections only with one client at a time, because as you all know that we still have to maintain social distancing, and one of the fear of running a boarding facility is what if I get infected, and what if one of my staff gets infected, and then if that happens, then who and how the facility is going to run. So that was one of the worries. Hence, we were avoiding all the visitors, all the swimming sessions during the lockdown. And now, since we are opening up gradually, the pet parents, they have to invest little more extra efforts in their pets while they are at our facility. So as soon as they enter, their temperature gets checked with the that thermometer. Then
Thermometer, yeah.
yeah, then secondly, they have to use the touchless sanitizer, and the masks are compulsory. In case if the client is not wearing a mask, we have additional masks for the cell that they have to buy it from us. Those are reusable. Those are not use and throw. Those are not one time thing. So they have to buy it from us, and they have to bring their all belongings right from their own water bottle It just we provide only water to the dog. We make sure that there won't be much of human contact with each other while my staff is handling the dog. So we have to maintain that thing. And at the moment, we are just handling one client at a time for 1 hour, for one and a half hour or something. But
Got it.
no,
So,
definitely I'm not gathering more people. Even at the moment, also, even if one client is coming on with one dog, only 2 people are allowed. I'm still not taking kids because kids and elderly people are on the high risk. So that will happen gradually.
so Meera, the question also is that what did you one is that you changed something in the boarding to make boarding more safe, etc. That is definitely uh, uh, that is definitely going to help the boarding as a business. But to sustain, did you
Yeah.
started something else? Like for example, Mahi being there, did you start?
Definitely. I
Yeah,
started more
and
of online.
yeah, so you started more of online dog training. That's what you meant,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that's a new thing which has started coming in, and I think it is because of the COVID. People earlier never thought that the dog training can be done online, and
Yeah.
now there are a lot of classes for pet owners. They can actually do learning of how to train a dog or a puppy online, and Meera actually started that, and that was one area of sustenance, right?
Yeah.
So
I would
Meera,
like to add one more point also. I learned to say politely no during this COVID time, which is very difficult
right.
for us to say no to particular client or to say no to particular business sometimes. Sometimes the clients they do force us कि नहीं 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 रखो ना अब ये emergency है or let us have some time with our dog. So to certain things I definitely learned to say no very politely.
So, that's what that thought actually brings me to the next question, which I had in mind, and this is about how do you start building a dog boarding business? And we are now moving from COVID times to regular times a little bit and going in the history, and wanted to know that your comments about what owners should expect from a dog boarding. I mean, do you see that first of all, when we talk about dog boarding as a business, that what are pet owners thinking about it, and when they come and then they experience, and then it is exactly the same what they actually imagined, or are there any differences? What are your thoughts about that, Meera?
So I certainly believe that a boarding facility is a good revenue generating business, I would say, but it also comes with a great responsibility because the people who have dog boarding facility they don't have their personal life because all the time your phone you are on standby. After official hours, we cannot switch off our phone because we have to be available all the time for our staff. Uh, the knowledge about the basic knowledge about the dog behavior, the dog health, also the dog care, also all those things are definitely required. And instead of expecting anything fancy, the basic hygiene. No, the dog, in which condition the dog is coming to you for the stay, either the dog should remain on the same condition or it should get better. The dog condition, mental condition, and the physical condition shouldn't drop down. But yes, there are certain drastic changes that definitely happens when the dog is coming to stay with us for more than 5 days. And the basic change will happen that the dog owners will notice the sudden weight loss because on our facility, on the open facilities, what, like for example, if the dog is walking with the owner for half an hour and they cover hardly a kilometer or half-kilometer distance, but here at the boarding facility the dogs, I haven't seen, I'm running this facility since 2011, and I haven't seen any single dog walking. All the time the dogs are either taking brisk walk or they are walking or they're running. So within 15-20 minutes, within half an hour, 45 minutes, the dog is absolutely tired. And when the dog is getting such opportunity to run across the facility for 4 times or 5 times a day, there is going to be a drastic weight loss for sure. So these are some sudden changes definitely happens, but the dogs
This
are
is
happy. Dogs
we are
should,
talking
dogs
about
should be
we are
happy.
talking about a healthy weight loss, right?
Yes, healthy weight loss. Yeah,
Healthy.
that's a healthy
Yeah,
weight loss.
and people can think that खाना नहीं खिलाया and भूखा मार दिया मेरे dog को, right? So
that's
have you
usual complaints that we get to hear कि आपने पानी नहीं दिया, आपने खाना नहीं दिया, because there are certain that I also start learn over period of so many years of experience. When I started noticing sudden change in my own dog's behavior, also the way they drink water at the facility and the way they drink water at my home. So that's a drastic. Those are two absolutely opposite style of water drinking, or even having their food. It becomes totally different. So at the kennel, they will splash the water out completely because they are absolutely tired, first of all, and they want to cool down their body as much as possible. And in the home environment, they are much decent dogs who will not splash the water drops outside their water bowls. They will eat peacefully. At the kennel, they will eat blah 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 blah. They will just gobble on the food. So these are some sudden changes that definitely happens. And
so yeah.
fine.
Yeah, those are fine. I know. Yeah, you're right. And Shekhar, you have recently started. We would like to understand from you. While I have seen dog boarding business very, very closely because of Fiesel being running it, and Meera have been running it from some time. Uh, how do you start? I mean, how do you get your first clients, and how do you grow the business? Does investing a lot of money in advertising on various aggregator apps, does that help, or very little money? How give us some background on that? And this also comes from the point of view of my curiosity, because you've worked with one of the very, very great brand in India called Airtel, and you were in sales and marketing side. So there is nobody better than you to give us an insight about how to scale the business, how to get your first few clients.
Yeah, Rana, see, we launched Petcart Nest in September 2018. The commercial operation started in October 2018. Now, we started before, and it took about 10 months for us to construct the entire premises. And before that, we spent about 6 months in intensive market research in Bangalore and another place of India to get the insights of this. So there were some few points which pet parents told us. As I keep telling, now we are seeing humanization of pets, right? When we were growing up, pets were generally considered as security animals. You used to see outside every house, you used to see be aware of pet. But now it is be with every pet. So pets have become part of the family. So once that changes, your entire design and other things also changes. So there were a couple of points which people give us when they were saying what are the hindrances that they are seeing in the existing boarding setup. I'm saying common, not taking anybody's name or whatever, and what they are expecting in the research part. See, the one point is what Meera said is very rightly. See, in a house setup, you have a bed. Generally the pet, when they are in the home, they sleep on the bed, in ours bed. For example, my pet also sleep on my bed. So that expectation versus how will you deliver it now? When you are designing a resort or a boarding solutions, how do you deliver that? I can't give that kind of a situation within our this thing because of a lot of constraints. So from a size of what size should be the cottage, and what are the amenities that we can give, we designed completely within in-house. We spent about 6 months on research and 8 months of execution. So 14 months took us to completely build this. For example, somebody was saying, no AC in your resort, right? But that was only 2% of the entire 100% people which we come up. For 2%, I cannot make the entire thing AC. But what it gave us to this, we really made it a natural flow of things. One is, our premises is in the outskirts of the city in a greeneries. We use lures and a natural light, and the height of the building we designed in such a way that there is no suffocation inside. So we created, and we met with a lot of experts, largely the pet parents, and how do they feel with the constraint that we have? How can we design the the entire boarding premises. So to an extent, yes, we were.
Are you able to hear, Shikhar?
Yeah, I'm able to hear.
Okay. Meera, are you able to hear Shikhar?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, to an extent. So we were able to design what pet parents are looking at. Oh, that was the first part. But the second part is execution. So, you can create a beautiful, nice resort, but the execution starts. So on September 23rd, we launched the resort. And till about October 4th, it was me, my partner, and my 5 feeders, right? So we got our first customer on October 4th. His name was Spice. So Spice came here, and Spice's parent was completely stressed. He said, no pets here. It's only human beings, and my Spice is going to stay here for whatever 5 days. So we said, don't worry. So everybody's going to love Spice. So he's going to get ample time for humans. We'll ensure that 9 people are going to take care of Spice 24/7. So we started from that, and then slowly we developed. Of course, in my view, for a other setup of pet care business, I know intensive digital marketing and other things could help, but for boarding service, it is purely the word of mouth. If you take care of your customer, if you take care of your every single customer who walks into your boarding properly, I know 100% is very difficult, but to an extent possible, I think they becomes your brand ambassador, because here what happens is the price conscious customers are a little lower. This is my experience in last 18 months. I could be wrong. So what happens is, in the other categories, you see, for example, in e-commerce, you will see a lot of price conscious customers. They will say, this guy is giving that much. Of course, there are customers who comes here and say, boss, you are charging 50% more. But then, when we tell them, what we are giving for that 50% more, they understand. But what happens in e-commerce, if you take a particular A brand, which is costing 1900 rupees, both are selling the same brand. But here, both are selling boarding, but with a different experience. So finally, what matters is what experience you're giving it to the consumer. Consumer is king. Yes, it has a positive impact. It's a negative impact. But I think, you are fortunate that 95% of the pet parents understands what we are doing. So that is the reason, we are able to. So while what we did was, the first intent of mine was to get more consumers to see my place. So what we did is, we did a lot of events. We did swimming pool parties. We did, evening pool parties. We did camping with canines. People can come and stay with their canines in our resort in the tents. So because it is very difficult to say somebody that, what we are having here. In a pictures, you can only so much say. And so what, about 6 months, we did intensive events. So that helped us. And now the existing customers are giving us more customers. So I think, yes, you can use the digital marketing to get the crowd here, but the conversion happens through the reference from the existing customers.
Got it. So, Meera and Weasel, I would like to hear from you guys. Have you guys invested heavily on marketing, or is it the same story that the boarding business actually runs on word of mouth? Weasel, to start with you, and then we can go to Meera.
Rana, when I started in 2008, yes, it took me 3 months to get my first boarding client. Because I was completely new in this segment, and there was hardly any boardings around in 2008, and people were not much aware about this concept that time. So but I had a very limited budget. I do not wanted to invest too much in the marketing, so I was going very slow and steady. So my first client came with the word of mouth, and then it never stopped. It keep on growing every day, and I never invested any penny in marketing, though Rana keep pushing me always that do some social media marketing, change your website, let's do something on your Facebook, on Insta. But I never, gave time on that, because my job is to take care of dogs, and I just do not put my brains anywhere else. So I'm into core servicing. I get the clients from word of mouth. We are always full, for God grace, and yeah, it goes like that.
So Meera, I think very similar will be your views, right? But I would like you to add on your sense of understanding of consumer and the customer. Right. So, Shekhar actually used both the words while talking about the cost consumer and the customers. But tell us a little bit about that relationship. How do you? Who is more? Who is more important for you? Is it the consumer of the services or the customer? The customer is the one who pays.
Yeah, I would go. I will definitely go with the customer because I never as Weezer also said that I never invested anything in digital marketing because earlier my career all started with dog training. So by the time I started boarding facility, I had enough clientele also, and it was word of mouth. I started meeting veterinarians. I started meeting the pet shop owners also, and that's how word of mouth. And if the client is coming with the reference, then it's a safe client, I would say, because then the fear of abandonment is absolutely zero. So that's how I started. And the facility, I never opened it for all to come and visit the facility at any time, or the facility is open for the walk-in customers also. No, so it's not, the client has to come, they have to come by appointment only. And I'm very happy that my staff is very dedicated, and they have picked up that sense of privacy also, that why we need to have people coming by appointment. So if I have not informed my staff that my parents are coming there to spend some time, if I haven't informed them, they will not let my parents in. So that much strictness we have to follow. And I'm very happy that every time that madam आपने बताया नहीं आपके parents आ रहे हैं, so उनको अंदर लेना है कि नहीं लेना है. So as a customer, one can feel bad about it, but I'm very happy that the staff is following all my rules and regulations, that no entry without appointment, no entry to any walk-in customer के हम लोग we were just passing by and we just want to see the facility. No, so they have to come by appointment. And I being a boarding facility owner, I definitely believe in selecting my own client. So the client also decides for the boarding facility, and the boarding facility owner also then decides for the client whether that particular client I want it or I don't want them. So that's how it goes.
So are you, let's find it out, Meera, that are you doing this uniquely? And maybe when you might have started this as a policy, you would have thought that मैं ऐसे करने वाली हूँ और कोई नहीं करता ऐसे. But
No. And I guess I was very strict about that policy right from beginning, that I will select my client, and that's the reason I still, by God's grace, I never had any abandonment issue, that someone came and dropped the pet at the boarding facility, paid for a couple of days, and they never came back. So by God grace, I touch wood, for that policy. Yeah. People feel bad, and sometimes I get Google reviews of 1 star, 2 star, that why to maintain so much of privacy, why to maintain so much of secrecy. But no, even if it's a boarding facility, it's my own private property. And if you are visiting someone unknown, it's always better to call up and go.
Yeah, so, and Weasel is smiling because this is how. I think she believes in the similar kind of a boarding setup, and I would like Weasel to add her experiences. Weasel, please tell us about no registration, no boarding kind of a policy which you run, and you have been talking to a lot of other fellow entrepreneurs and dog boarders about it. Please tell everybody that what are the policies which you have incorporated in your boarding, which helps lower no abandon rates or better services to the consumers of the services, of course. And also tell us about do you also select your clients like Meera is doing, right?
So from the very beginning, we have a policy of pet registration with it. So pet registration is basically all about choosing a client, choosing a pet, choosing a customer. So here I mean the pet parent, not just the dog, because we make sure that there is no abandon, there is no wrong case coming. Someone with the reference is coming to us. They should be honest with us about their pet, because sometimes people hide. They do not tell the truth about. And if they can't tell us, like we in 1 or 2 days boarding, we can't just explore the pet. So we want to know maximum from the pet owners. So that's why this registration policy is there from the very beginning, just to understand the pet maximum through their owners. And if we have enough time, like the owners are pre-planning their holidays or a boarding services to avail, like maybe 2 months in advance or 3 months in advance. Just a second, just yeah. So if owners are planning services in pre-advance, so we sometimes do a kind of a mock sessions with the dog. We host a dog for a day, morning till evening, to make them, comfortable, and just to see how the behavior is, and whether the pet parents, how the pet parents are, whether they are on time, whether they follow our rules or regulation or not. Sometimes pet parents commit that, oh, we'll be back by 5 p.m. But they won't turn up by 5. They are coming at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. They do not respect time. So we check everything, like whether, it's just us or the pet parents are also the equally responsible before availing the facility. So this is one thing. And then, uh, till date we are observing many, there are hundreds of experiences. I think it's very difficult to tell all of them in such a short time. But yes, I would like to share one, as Rana just mentioned, that, this weight loss thing. There was a
Yeah.
beautiful young boxer came to our boarding, and young chap, 11 months of boxer, and he had a baby fat that time, and it was the time to just convert the dog into to start the dog exercising, and that baby fat started going away from the body. So we were giving him good exercise, and also he was also kind of full day energetic, being so many pets around, and getting too many walks and play area for with the dogs around. So he almost lost, I think, 2-3 kgs while he was on boarding. And after 20-21 days, when the owners came, and it was a big blast, my dog is looking thin, you haven't fed him, this and that. Though the dog was super healthy, there was no problem, and dog was looking much better. But yeah, like we face this problem. And then there are happy experiences always, always.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, very interesting thing which, I keep hearing from all the people in the industry, especially dog boarding people, that there is lot of pressure to make videos every day and send to the clients. Do you guys also feel, and I am asking these questions because a lot of boarding people might be in the viewers, and they might have these questions they might not be able to ask, and I would like to ask, and I have been hearing this. And the second thing is that I don't think that boarding people who are running boarding businesses have ever come forward and have spoken in public, right? We have been hearing always on these social media forums and groups, etc., taking the bashing from people who do not even understand how to run a dog boarding business. Please tell to start with Shekhar, because when we were discussing with him, he kind of had a very interesting idea around it. So Shekhar, and then we will come to Meera. How do you deal with? Do you first of all get phone calls to talk to dogs and video calls for dogs and photos, etc. requests, and how do you deal with it? And how many? I mean,
Rana. So again, every challenges comes with opportunity. So you are right that they want to see their babies when they are out of the city. They want to see their babies always, right? And that's the normal thing, because the age group of these people varies, and the expectation also varies depending upon the age group. If they are millennials, the expectation is different. If they are a mid-level age group, then it's different. If they are little age people, the expectation is different. But I'm sure, yes, most of the cases, barring few, they expect they ask typical questions like, Shekhar, can we call whenever we want to see our baby? In the night, the first day of the night, they want to see where is he sleeping. Can we do a live with our fur baby? Easy eating. If I say yes, then can I get a video of him him eating for the first time? I think this, and then easy playing outside, easy missing me. I think he will not be sleeping the whole night. could be because there are many people who are boarding their pets for the first time. So I really appreciate their concern. So once they are used to keeping the boarding, their expectation changes. But the first time boarder obviously will have a lot of these questions, which is I think we have to take it in a positive manner. So what we are doing is very simple. When they come for boarding, we tell them that every day one video will be sent. So they definitely ask my feeders number, which we say no, feeders cannot give their numbers. It's not anything to do with anything else, because there is a certain set of data flow which has to happen from one number, because again we are keeping a very important part of anybody's family, right? Somebody says that can we give a CCTV live, how many CCTV you have and all. So we have, for example, 24 CCTVs in our resort, and that is entirely for my consumption. It is not for anybody else consumption. It is not even for feeders consumption. So we don't give any live of those things. So we give one video for sure. And whenever I am there and my founder is there, we try to take some candid photos of these people for usage of our digital marketing, and also to make them feel that he's comfortable, he's running around, laughing around, swimming around. So just to give more confidence to those people. But then again, while doing the research, many people ask this, that can we do a live session with my pet? Can I get a video whenever I want? So what we have done is we have created 2 chat rooms in our resort. We have not made it live, but I think in the definitely in next couple of days or weeks we're going to go into live. So in our app we're going to give an option for our pet parents. So whenever they want to have a chat with their love fur babies, the two chat rooms will be created, and in the chat room we're going to have a nice cozy sofas for our pets. And and our pet parents can book through their app, and they can talk to their fur babies whenever they want. But of course it goes through a monetary transaction of whatever is required for them, and then it's fine. If they want to talk to for 1 hour, 2 hours, I will ask my feeders, they have to book an appointment earlier through app and pay those transactional fees. We will put that fur baby in that particular chat room, and it's good for both. They are happy, we are happy, so that it gives an opportunity for making customers happy and ourselves also happy. So what we are doing, that we're going to unveil that very soon in next couple of weeks.
That is amazing, Shekhar, and we all are learning from you how to make use of how to see opportunities in constraints. Why we were always seeing it like a constraint. Meera, you being a trainer also, how does it affect a dog? I mean, like, I understand that humans want to see. I mean, owners want to see their dogs, and sometimes I have seen owners talking to their dogs over the phone, also asking that
Yeah.
I will speak and the loudspeaker out to for your for their own dog. What are your views from the behavior understanding point of view? Is it the right way of doing it? Sometimes people say that okay, if you cannot send the video clip to us, can I send somebody every day to meet the pet, and then will come, our caretaker of the pet will come every day, once in a day or twice, or my friend will come and meet the pet. What are your views from the pet psychology point of view?
Yeah. So at my facility, it's a big no for video call, because we don't have time, and secondly, I don't want to engage myself in doing video call when I can spend more time with the dog on field. So that's another thing. And secondly, the lot of pet owners can relate to this when they play some video of their training session while the trainer is training them, and when the dog hears good dog or good boy or good puppy, the pet starts dancing like crazy. So now you can imagine, if your dog hears your voice on the video call or on a chat room also, the dog is definitely going to get that separation. Oh, okay, I can hear my owner's voice, but I can't see them. And suddenly the dog can go into the panic mode if the dog is sensitive. Okay, if the dog has separation anxiety. And on every pet, I guess three of three, all of us will agree on the same thing, that on every pet boarder, we invest so much into settling them. First few hours are so important for us to get along with the dog, understanding their habits, because sometimes what owners have provided us and what the dog is showing us, it's totally a different story. So we have to give them enough time. So for long term boarding also, I don't allow anyone to visit for first 15 days, because the dog takes at least 24 hours to 48 hours to settle down with the kennel environment. No matter how much efforts we are putting in, it's entirely up to the dog. Once they start eating well, once they start getting along with the staff, so sometimes we get inquiry, now it's been 48 hours, can we just come and visit the dog? It's a big no. So, and that's the reason I meet the client frequently before even they board the dog, to understand the level of separation anxiety the dog has, the level of separation anxiety the human owner has. Because sometimes the dog is absolutely happy coming to the boarding facility, and the owner gets panicked that how can my dog be so happy without me? Ideally, the owner should be happy that, okay, this is the place where my dog is safe, where this is the place where my dog is enjoying his life. But sometimes it becomes a all emotional roller coaster thing, that okay, is he eating or not? And then I have, there are so many funny stories. I have wife saying that, okay, if my dog doesn't eat, can you please hand feed my dog? And after within 15-20 minutes, I have husband messaging me, अगर वो नहीं खाता है ना तो रहने दो, भूखा रहेगा तो उसकी अकल ठिकाने पे आ जाएगी. So then we have such a wonderful clientele also, and yes, we have seen dogs getting better after coming to the boarding facilities. But I definitely don't encourage into. Currently also I'm getting a lot of calls saying that, okay, हमारा कुत्ता आपके पास है, can we just make a video call? It's a no, definitely. I don't promise them, but I definitely give them visual updates every alternate day, not every day, because then I have 20 dogs staying with me. Atrangi kutte mere paas, all aggressive cases also. So if I keep clicking the picture all the time,
When will you work?
yeah, when will we work? If I'm not there at the facility, then one person has to be holding the phone and taking the picture. So the visuals get the client gets every alternate day. I don't promise for the videos also. They will get either picture or either video. And I don't promise the length of video also. Then sometimes the client says ki aapne to 20 second bola tha, we received 10 seconds. I don't send longer videos. So then sometimes if the game is happening for a little longer time, कि नहीं last वाला video तो 50 second का था, अभी ये next वाला video आया वो तो 20 second का था. So I don't promise the length, I don't promise the type of visuals that I'm going to say. And sometimes then sometimes we really don't have any answer other than yes, your dog is doing good, he's eating well, he's sleeping well, he's drinking well. Other than sometimes there are really no updates. So it's
Yeah.
wonderful to see that okay, how many times we have to repeat those similar dialogues with each and every one coming for the stay.
So one thing, the very good takeaway from this chat is that you are not alone, Meera. So,
Definitely, and that's the reason I said that I select my client, because every kennel or every boarding facility, then be it boarding facility or be it home boarding facility, every boarding facility has their own culture. It's not necessary, and it's not a compulsory rule that what I am doing other people should follow. But at the same time, it should not be a rule what other people are doing, I should also follow the same. No, that's not going to happen for sure. It doesn't work like that for me.
Weasel, how do you? I'll come back to you, Meera, with another question. But let's hear Weasel's experience with video, and both of you guys started at the time when there was no video phones.
Yeah.
I mean, right. So the life has changed, and we have seen that happening gradually from 2007, 8, and now that you cannot live without a video, right? You cannot do a living without a video. And So changing times, yes. But Vidal, what's been your policy around sharing of daily video clips, photos, etc.? Please
So
enlighten
we do
everyone.
not promise, Rana, we do not promise our clients to send the videos on a daily basis. But yes, we always tell them that we'll keep you posted about your pets, about their well-being, like whether if there is something happens about on their health or anything, we immediately update the owners. Or if we find something emergency, we first go to the vet and immediately then inform the owner. So we keep everything updated with the owners about their daily routines, their food, but mostly on the messages. And about videos, my experience is so far it's very random. We are never particular on time for sending the videos, because most of the times we are hands on, our phones are not with us, or maybe if we try to be around with the with the phone, so sometimes the screen broke or something comes up. So yes, but many clients, they want a live videos with the pet, like where they want to talk. So that hour is after dinner. You call, I'll sit with the pet and you can just talk, and then they just endless talk with their dogs. And I don't know who is getting pleasure, whether the dog or the owner, but they just talk. So we put the screen and they talk to their dogs and they done. So we do that, but not in all the cases. But yes, we have such clients as well. So it's fine. Like with us, if we have a capacity, we have time, we allow them, but we never promise them for the video.
Yeah, so just to let everybody know that Weasel and Meera here, after this discussion, what I have learned is they do the client selection. There are no walk-ins allowed. They take the the client and their pets. They meet them, they talk to them, and then they meet the pets, and then they do the selection whether they can board their pets with their facilities or not. Weasel runs a home boarding facility. Meera runs a resort-based facility, and Shekhar also runs a resort-based facility. Wherein Shekhar's business is primarily more new, about 2 years old, less than two years old, 18 months old. And Meera and Weasel are doing this dog boarding business from, I think, 2007. Weasel is doing it from 2007, and Meera is doing it from 2008-9. So
2011, yeah.
2011, yeah.
Almost same time. No, Rana, I think me and Meera started almost same time, 2008. Right, Meera?
2008, right?
No,
Yeah.
the training I started in 2006, but the kennel I started in 2011.
Kennel you started.
Yeah.
You started. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I understand is that while Shekhar is probably he will graduate to say that I also select my clients very soon, and we wish him all the best for that, Shekhar.
No. So Rana, see, our stuff is so the segmentation is different. So we have it's a resort. So our positioning to the market is different. So it's a resort. So while in accommodation, which is part of the boarding facility, it is purely on choice basis, because in boarding it requires a lot of screening requirement, like vaccination report, the previous history, aggression details. Those things are mandatory for us also. So we don't take any walk-in consumer for boarding. But our positioning is a resort. So people do come for cuddling with my in-house pets. That's a segmentation that we have. People do come for pet photography. That's a segmentation separate. People do come for swimming pool. That's a separate segment. People do come for dog park. That is a separate segment. People do come for birthdays and other naming ceremony and all. That is separate segment. So while boarding, there is no discounting, and absolutely there is no any kind of leeway is given. It is purely on prior appointment, and that too after we verifying that vaccination report. Because many a times people say that Shekhar, I have vaccination report. My dog is 6 years old. You can talk to doctor so and so. But it's not about speaking to any doctor or any of these things. So that time we say that you get a certificate from the doctor, particular doctor. We appreciate that. Please get a verification certificate that this dog has been done all the necessary vaccination up to date. Because there are many cases we say we have changed the house from, say, Gurgaon to Bangalore or Mumbai to Bangalore. We lost those vaccination report and all. So we have lost umpteen number of customers because of that. Because our mandatory is very, very clearly, if vaccination is not up to date, irrespective of whoever is the client is no. It's absolutely no from our end. So for boarding segment, I think it's perfectly right with what Meera and Vizal is saying. But our gates are open because we have got other streams of revenue, so we don't say no to
Yeah,
other
definitely.
gates of these things.
Yeah.
Definitely. Got it. Yeah. And I think there is one question Ruhi has asked on the lighter side of the things, less to do with business, more to be creative. She's asking that how did you come up with the idea of bamboo kennels? A lot of my friends in Bangalore are a fan of your place, and we see a lot of bamboo. Even the whole reception area is made up of bamboos, if I'm not wrong, and the inside kennels are also made up of bamboo.
Yeah. So see, Rana, this was purely an outcome of the research that we did. We when I was in Airtel, the architect who designed the entire thing, of course, the architect got a lot of awards last year. He got 5 awards for interior decorators, where we were fighting with human people. So the pet resort got a award for better interiors, better architecture. He's based in Hyderabad. His name is Faisal. Faisal designed the entire thing. We spent a lot of time on design of this. So when I said to them, there were many things that were told to us in our research. They said that, Shekhar, when I enter some boarding places, they don't even make us to get into the boarding place. Matlab, bahar se dog, you keep the dog from outside, and we don't know where he's going to sleep, because you understand he's my kid. And then I definitely value those sentiments. So the second point was, we really wanted to create like an experience destination for our pet parents. Like they can come easily, sit there and things like that. So we took a nature as our premises. And other things was, I know that, so how to give that nature feeling to the consumers, I know, which many people are aspiring. Like, we want to go and stay in a heritage place, right? We don't want to go into, of course, we want to go and stay in 7-star, 10-star hotel also, but we want to go and stay in a heritage place. From that perspective, we decided that we'll go with the bamboo theme, which will be from outside perspective, which is the entire reception area and things that will look like. The outside, the inside, the room, we were not able to create a individual room for everybody. But when I discussed with my architect, I told him, can we create a cottage kind of a thing, which is strong enough for any kind of a breed, whether it is Great Dane or Saint Bernard or any large breed. How do you create that hut kind of a structure? So that's where the bamboos came again. So the front part of our cottage has a bamboo stuff. Of course, it has got a metal frames, but it looked more like a cottage. So from a vacation house perspective, we created that, Rana.
Nice.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Shekhar. We'll take some questions, and there are a lot of things which we have not discussed in this live session. I think we will do it in part 2 and part 3. And we are already running over time. I didn't see the time actually, and we were so much involved in talking to you guys. But we'll take a few questions. They always give a very nice perspective to things. So Ashish is saying, how do you ensure quality of dog food being given, as every dog is being fed differently by pet parents, and how do you cope with it? So to start with Weasel, because I know when we started boarding, when Weasel started boarding in 2007, and we were discussing, this was one of the key things, and Weasel had a very innovative, point at that point in time, and she will say that how does she deal with this, and then probably we'll speak to Meera and Shekhar. Go on, Weasel.
So from the very beginning, we kept a concept of everything, customized. So pet parents, when they used to come for the registration, we take the food menus, like the list of food they're feeding in the daytime to their pets, their liking, their dislikes, allergies, and any other, food which is not okay with the dog. So we just used to take everything in return. And though in the early days it was a very limited space for the pets, just 4 or 5 pets at a time, so it was okay. Then when we kind of became 15, 20 dogs, so it was a kind of challenge. Then we realized, like after a couple of years, after a few years, we realized that it's almost same, it's just a little bit of change in the mixes. Like someone is giving roti with chicken, someone is giving rice with chicken, or someone is giving pedigree with some gravy mix. So it's now we have seen the patterns are same. Like it's just a little bit difference and it's fine. So, but we always very, clear about customization still till date, and we are very particular about the dogs, like dislikes and allergies. So these three things we absolutely keep in mind and make sure that the pet is keeping, getting the food as per the requirements. So there is not much innovation, Rana. It's just, very basic, but yeah, it's more about customization what we did.
Yeah, so more personalization as a service, and it was quite a unique point at that point in time in 2007. And now we have more home boarders, and there were no home boarders at one point in time. Meera, how do you guys do the food part?
So we have two options. The dog can have the food which we serve, or if the client wants to stick to their own brand, then they can provide us the similar brand. But for any kennel owner, I guess everyone will agree on that we really can't afford to give premium food at a low cost. Like we would like to give Royal Canin or any premium dog food for that matter, if the client is willing to pay. But when the per day charges are low, we can't afford to give premium food. So those options are always open for the clients to select, that you can give your food. If the quantity is less, we will arrange for it. You will have to pay for the food. And the secondly, which is the dog food and the chicken and rice that we offer at the kennel, the dog can have that also. So these are the two options that I go with. If the dog is on any hypoallergenic food, then we definitely ask the client to stick to that brand only. With the puppies also, I don't allow them to shift on any other dog food or any other kennel food also. I always ask them to send their own food quantity only.
Got it. So,
This is that their stomach should and their digestion system should remain in a proper condition.
right.
That's the only worry. Yeah.
So we have a question from Manita, which Manita, we thought that we will take more from the pet owner side in the next part, because in 1 hour we could cover only the business side, but we will take this question up here. She's saying that we have spoken about selection of the clients, but can you tell that how pet parents should look in for a nice boarding facility, home or resort based, and what question should they ask when they are selecting? That's a great question, actually, and we should have covered it. Thank you, Manita, for coming forward and reminding us. Shekhar, what are your thoughts about it? And then we can ask everybody, and this can be our last question unless somebody sends a really nice question, right? So, Shekhar.
Yeah, I think it's purely the pet parent's choice, right? There is no differentiation in home boarding or a resort-based boarding. It's a pet parent who will take a call. Of course, what he can ask is, whatever questions we have asked, right? How safe my pet will be, whether my pet will get more time to play, whether my pet will get to socialize with other pets, whether my pet will get enough food in time. I think, they have all the rights to ask, and, if they want to come and check the premises, definitely they can come and check the premises. Whatever we are talking on the phone, is it really seen? Okay, so a couple of things which we don't do is we don't allow anybody to go to the boarding premises because of the hygiene stuff. We will allow them to see from outside, because even every day when I come, I only go once inside to check the hygiene stuff inside, and once going out, because it all matters. What shoe we wear, and a lot of things are involved. So I think pet parents, they can decide, because I don't think whether we will be the right person to tell them that whether house boarding or a large space boarding is good. It's purely their choice, because both has got its own challenges and advantages and things like that. But of course, he can also list down the questions that what we have discussed in choosing the client. The pet parents have all the rights to choose, but I think the basic questions will be this only. Of course, some of them do ask relevant questions, like how big is your the hut space? Will it be sufficient for my dog to sort of sleep around? And of course, they can talk about the hygiene factor. One of the biggest factor that pet parents ask is about these ticks and fleas, because this can these things, and they do ask questions about in case of emergency, do you have the bandwidth to take care of my pet? I think these are very right questions which a pet parent can ask about, and I think we are more than happy to answer all those questions.
Yeah, Meera, over to you. What
Yeah,
are your
I have,
for pet
I have
owners?
a different point of view on this particular thing. I would prefer if we ask the dog where he would like to stay, because if the dog has any temperamental issues, like if the dog is aggressive, he's definitely not best customer for the home setup. If the dog has dog to dog aggression, then he's not a best candidate to go for home boarding. If the dog has some medical conditions which need to be looked after 24 by 7, then the kennel won't be the best option for that particular dog, or senior dogs for that matter, who are coming for first time boarder. So anything above 9 or 10 years of age, I don't board such pets unless I know those dogs right from beginning. So for those senior dogs, I never recommend to board them in a kennel facility. Not at my place, not at any other place also. Then for them, single dog boarding or home setup is much more convenient, because if you suddenly put the dog in a kennel environment, it can cause a lot of stress. So even if if the previous medical checkup, if the dog is completely fine, the dog can go under stress, and the stress induced medical conditions can happen. And so we have to take care, we need to ask the dog what type of temperament profile the dog has. If the dog is having a lot of dominant nature, then he can create little problem at the home boarding setup. If the dog has resource guarding behavior issues, then he can really create a nasty scenario at a home boarding setup, where he will keep on guarding on each and everything. Because home boarding setup, their first thing is, it's a cage free environment. So with such dogs, how they are going to manage a dog who has resource guarding, or the dog who has food aggression issues? So it is very important to consider the dog's temperament profile and the dog's age also. So as a policy, I don't board any puppy below 4.5 months of age. So that's the one thing for the puppy age, and I don't board any dog above 10 years or 9 years old if they are coming to kennel for the first time.
Right.
Weasel, what are your tips for pet owners? And then I will just take a second in between. We have a question from Ankit Chakravarti, also very similar question. So Ankit, we are already talking about what pet owners should keep in mind for a good pet boarding facility, to find out a good pet boarding facility. And we actually, Meera was talking about how to prepare your dog for different types of dogs and different types of facilities that we spoke about. In case you have missed it, please watch it again. Great point Ankit is making. He's saying that how do you prepare a puppy from the early age to be comfortable to stay in a boarding facility? We will do a pet socialization live session. That's a great idea. I think Meera has already done it once. We
Yeah.
can do towards the boarding. Ankit, that calls for a complete 1 hour talk probably, and then we will do it. And we are going to now Weasel to hear her giving tips to pet owners how to look out for a good boarding facility for their pets. Weasel, over to you.
So basically, pet owners knows the need of the pet. They know what kind of setup is good for their pet. So I always suggest, and I have already mentioned many times in my just this conversation today, that pet owners should visit the pet facilities, spend time, discuss
Yes.
all the needs of their pets, let the pet be there for some time, do some mock sessions, see how the pet is doing. And considering health, age, breed, one should, check the setups, like whether they want to go for a kennel boarding, a resort boarding, home boarding, or maybe a pet sitting. Now, this new concept is coming in India as well, where, somebody will come to your house and take care of your pet. So once everybody knows like what they want, and but before, as Ankit has just asked, about this, this question that how they make sure that the puppy is comfortable to the stay. So they should start from the very beginning, from the very, starting. They get the puppy home. Start socializing your puppy. Start taking to the, these places, resorts or pet boardings or pet home boardings, to just acclimatize, like to just socialize the puppy, to just make them comfortable with the new people, with the new, places around. And then if you do it on a regular basis, then puppies or adult dogs, they do not face challenges. Because during COVID, I have helped a lot many puppies coming to my house, and just, among the friends, like as Meera and, everybody knows that there are a lot of people who have bought puppies during this COVID. So a lot of puppies in my friend circle or in my nearby, close circle are coming these days to my house, and they spend time. And now these puppies are into their 5 months or 6 months of their age, and they're super comfortable. Like even they come, my friends come or my clients come, and they say, my dog is not as comfortable at home without us as they are with you in your house. So this is what you see the differences when you start from the very beginning. So yes, pet parents also, be a little responsible and start things in a little early age. I always suggest.
Yeah. So, one last question, and this is really the last one. I won't take more than this question. Neha is Vidal's sister. She's asking a very interesting question. We actually spoke about pet abandonment, but
Yeah.
what she's saying is how to find a genuine pet parent that will come back and take the pup back and not leave it permanently in the boarding, right? So we did speak about it, but before we end this session, I would like one thing from you guys, that you really take care, you really check with pet parents to make sure that it is not going to be an abandonment. Weasel, what is that one thing you will say?
Any new pet parent, referral check.
Okay.
Veterinarian name, one strong reference, always.
Okay.
I always make sure that the person who's coming to me should not be coming from the internet.
Okay.
New people know. Not for the boarding. I never take, like, Rana, you know that. I do not take boarding from the, people coming from the websites and they ask me, they have Googled me for the boarding. No.
Yeah. So ref check definitely has to be there. That's what Weasel says. Shekhar, what do you think?
Yeah, see, there is a chance of this after doing all ref check and things like that. But yes, it's right that one, of course, the vaccination report, ref check, and now we have introduced that if somebody is asking for, you will understand after running for 18 months, we do definitely take the Aadhaar card copies now. And when you start talking about Aadhaar card and more details, then they'll slowly start going backwards. The more and more questions you ask, because the genuine guy, if he's really come for keeping the pet, you ask anything, he'll give. He will not say no. He will give vaccination report. If it is not there, he'll say, I'll get it from my vet. If you ask for Aadhaar card, you ask for credit card, whatever, he's ready to give everything. But if there is somebody who's, I'm sure now, since we are talking this, somebody should not do this as a, okay, I'll give all the things, still, I will do that. I think that is a cruel thing. I think on behalf of everybody, I'm requesting pet parents that, look, guys, if you are not able to adopt a pet, don't go for it. It's not a fancy thing. It's not a lifestyle thing. Nobody's going to kick you out of the society if you're not owning a pet. But if you are owning this is like your kid, right? You are doing injustice to that pet. You're not doing injustice to us. You are doing injustice to them. So I'm requesting all the people, if you're going for pet parenting, think about it. I think, some days there could be like seasoned people like Meera, Weasel and other people. You should start a pet parenting counseling. The person who's going to become a pet parent, you should advertise this heavily and say, hey guys, before becoming pet parents, take a counseling.
But Shekhar, I would like to add something here. Like if
doing that.
Yeah, Shekhar. So I would like to add something here. Like, yes, there are circumstances, there are sometimes, phases which you face in life where you are not able to, keep or maybe manage a pet. So in those cases, I always tell people strongly, please do not abandon your pet.
Yes.
Try to find a solution. Try to find a family. Go
Yes.
to the pet experts, go to the people who are into this industry, or connect to the NGOs and find a right family, get it adopted, make
Yeah.
sure your pet is in the right hands. They are,
Yes.
Yeah.
safe, and because they are part of your family. So do not
True.
abandon them, because
Yeah.
Yes.
everybody has reasons. So I never judge. If somebody is coming with the genuine reason, I have
Yes.
helped so many people getting their pets adopted, and
Yes.
I feel proud about it. I feel very responsible, these parents are, who actually think about their dogs before
Yes.
abandoning them or something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it is better to think about a
Yeah,
solution and
yeah.
not
Rather than
abandon,
doing a
right? So
shortcut.
somebody comes forward and says that I'm not able to take care of it and I'm looking for a home for the pet. It's very courageous of people. Everybody have got a heart. They cry while they do part from their pets. But what I have seen is that on social media, people start just trolling them badly. That why are you? I mean, there may be a genuine reason, right? And then
Absolutely.
somebody is making an effort to get a home for the pet. So what I think what I and Weasel have learned over a period of time. One is that we have not come across a very straightforward abandoned cases, right? Number two is that even if we come across some,
Yeah.
like in 100 or 200 clients, you will find. If you are experienced enough and you've dealt with 100, 200 clients, you would know that this is a case of abandonment, or they are wanting to get rid of this pet because of some condition in the family. And then when you talk to them genuinely and tell them that if that is the case, we are there to help you, then they open up and then they tell that this
Yes.
is how we are going to.
And we have hosted their pets in our house, and we have done we have found the new families, and we have got them adopted as well. Like we
Yeah.
kind of, help them in bridging, rather than, being scared that, oh, now this pet parent is not going to come back, who will pay our bills, where the dog will go. So no, there is no fear. So we always make sure that the pet is having a good life, even in the same house, or if they don't want to keep it, into the new house. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mira, what part do you disagree with?
Yeah, so I would like to add a couple of things over here, that if you look at this issue from a pet industry point of view, in our sector we have multiple choices of veterinarians, we have multiple choices of groomers, trainers, pet boarding facilities, home boarding facilities. It's the pet owner now who need to get more educated, more responsible toward their pets. No, not a single person on from this sector are saying no to offer the service. If you don't want to go to the clinic, we have the home based service also. It just now the pet owners need to step up their game also. If you are not willing to put in your efforts in checking out the places, in understanding your pet's need also, then how can you expect a veterinarian or a groomer or a trainer or a boarding facility to put in their 100%? So in my case, I don't do any last minute check-ins. If the client is new, it's a big no. I lose a lot of business every month. I lose minimum 80 to 90 clients, and I'm very happy about it. I'm not in the need of maximum business where my boarding facility will become a holding facility. I need to run my show in a very decent and in a very peaceful and in a very safe manner. So the client, they have to come for a trial visit first. When you are coming to see the place, you have to get the dog. You have to get the dog along. Second will be a daycare where you have to drop the dog in the morning and pick up same day in the evening. Third, if necessary, the dog has to come for a one overnight stay before the boarding date. If the client is willing to put in that much effort, then we know that yes, this client is safe to board and they will come back to us to pick up their pet. If when I run this cassette over the phone that these many times you will have to come, maximum people run away. Okay, but if I don't know the client, I can't go and I can't vouch on the telephonic conversation, yes, that the client is safe. But yes, over the years, all boarding facilities can sniff the potential abandonment cases. Definitely we can sniff that clients very quickly, who are making key. We want to drop our dog for 10 days starting from today. We want to drop our dog for 3 weeks starting from today. If 3 weeks plan is made, It's not a last minute plan. It was way before. And how come you didn't think about your pets? I mean, otherwise, what you were going to do with your dog? Where for 3 weeks, where he was going to stay? So that's the reason there is no last minute entry. I have clients coming and standing and calling me at 11 o'clock in the night, saying that we are standing at your front at your main gate. We want to leave your dog. There is a family emergency. It's a big no. If I know the client, I have opened the gate of my facility at 3 o'clock in the morning, at 12 o'clock in the night. But if the client is unknown, I will not open my gate 9 o'clock in the morning also.
True.
Yeah,
There is no last minute.
I think sticking to the policies and following them to the T is most important. I think me and Weasel have been seeing this from day one. As soon as you go here and there with policies which you have made with your cool head,
People ride you crazy. They just want
No,
24 hours of yours.
only,
Yeah.
because of policy only we have that liberty to select our clients, because then the clients who are willing to follow our basic rules and regulations. We are not running any prison. We are not running any boarding school where the rules are strict, that okay, 5:30 is a meal time. If you are late, you will not get your meal. It's not about that. It's about following some safety protocols, following some hygiene protocols, following some official protocols also. So I'm available for my clients whose dogs are on board 24/7. I'm available for them. But if you want to book uh, for the slot in September, you can't call me at 11 o'clock in the night. No, or even if you want to book for your pet for next day, you can't stand at my main gate and frantically call me and honk. So then remaining dogs will get up and my staff will get disturbed. No, and then I'm happy to receive 1 star on Google for such clients. And I'll be more than happy to
I get replies when I say I am working 10 to 5. My working hours are 10 to 5. I get a replies. People say, so you can't even talk about the phone at night. Like what? Seriously. Now I'm getting these kind of replies from people. No, so you can't even take the calls. You can't even reply to the. I said, working hours,
No.
new clients should call me in the working hours. If there is a dog with us, we are hosting. If somebody wants to know about the pet, they can drop a message, they can make a call, it's still, on a decent hours. But you calling for a new query at the
Yeah.
11 p.m. and you saying you can't even talk on the phone, can't help it.
I
Then,
don't
yeah.
respond to just hi messages, whoever message me on WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook. Hi. No,
This
you
live
can't.
session has become now our, chit
we
chat
we,
session.
we definitely need a part, many parts. Daksh said that you should do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parts, and we have so much to talk
Sequels
about.
and sequels.
And
No,
while we have
because it's an intense topic. Definitely, it's very intense topic,
Yes.
and this is the platform to talk about our worries, what we also go through. It's not just a pet parent. For pet parent, it's their one dog, but for us, it's 70 dogs, it's 40 dogs, it's 30 dogs, and we are responsible for those 30 dogs or 20 dogs, and not just the dog, but we are responsible for the staff, for the land, for the security, for the electricity, for the food stock, for the water stock, and we are responsible for everything. And so far I haven't seen anyone coming forward to talk about it. So it's very wonderful opportunity the dog spot has given us to
yes.
come and talk about our problems also.
Thank you.
Yeah, for everything else there is Facebook.
I know.
All right,
I know.
thank you very much. Out of 1.5 hour session, I think ladies have got an attitude, comment, and compliment. I guess Neha likes her complete attitude, right? So I'm
Congrats.
assuming this compliment is for both of you. Definitely not for both of us.
Yes,
So
because there is.
there is a her.
Oh,
No
yeah.
problem. You guys, you can learn from us. Maybe one-to-one
That's what
session we will have one day.
that's what we do every day.
Now maybe Rana, you will understand why it is important to select your audience, select your clients, and select your.
Ruhi, you are so correct right now. Sabka dil ka dukh nikal raha hai. You are so
Yeah.
correct. Because we
Yeah.
never get this chance, Meera just said. So today we got a chance. We just want to open our hearts and just tell everybody what we are going through.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you
true.
very much, people. It
Thank
was
you.
wonderful talking to you guys. And while just to put the last thing into it is that when Ruhi says "Sabka dil ka dukh nikal raha hai," Ruhi, you would Ruhi is a trainer from Nagpur, and she has been on our live session earlier. And it is very interesting to note that lot of trainers have been talking on the live, lot of groomers have been talking on the live, veterinarians have been on live from ever, pet nutritionists. But I think this is the first time when multiple pet boarding people have come forward and have spoken about their side of story in public, wherein they have also touched upon how people can they've also shared some tips on how people should find a facility and what are the questions they should ask. But I think this is first time it is happening, and we will do it more. It brings a lot of clarity on both the parts, right? So people will definitely get to understand the side of the stories that dog boardings are also run by human beings, and they are all in good faith for the love of pets, and how we can get the best out of the boarding. So in the next session, we will talk more about the pet owner side, and then how to give more, how to select a better boarding. What are the medical issues? What happens if boarding people face any medical issues? How do they deal with things like mishaps, etc., etc. And what if your pet is at boarding and something goes wrong? How do you handle that, right? And what should a responsible pet boarding owner should do? So those are some of the very interesting and very important points which we should discuss in a forum like this. And maybe next week we will again do this, and we will please watch this space. We will announce about our part 2 very, very soon. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shekhar. I hope
Thanks, Rana.
Thank you.
Thanks, Meera. Thanks, Vijal.
Thank you. Thank you, Shekhar.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. If you like this session, please share it, like it, and share it with your friends. Share it on your Facebook wall. It will help more people. Please subscribe to our page to see what are other live sessions which are going to be there. And please do write to us in case you have any ideas. We are going to share a link here about the nomination process in case you want to nominate anybody whom we should feature on our live. We have been missing that person. Please fill in the form and send it across to us. Somebody from our team is going to share the link here in the comments. Please visit and tell us more about people we should feature here. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening to us. It's been a great session. Bye-bye. Have a nice evening.